of science. They want to define science as things that we can observe and test and demonstrate in the natural world. Okay, well then that eliminates both evolution and creation. Both are unobserved. We don't see anything change. We don't see anything created from nothing. Here's the problem. Both creation and evolution are religious. I admit mine's a religion. They don't admit theirs is a religion. And all of us are paying for their religion to be taught in the school system. And I, for one, resent that. I'm an independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist. A chicken-eating Baptist. I like that. Amen. Okay, hello, good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama, January 29th, 2026. Yes, we're live, barely, okay? Tonight, whack an atheist. Call in, take all calls you want. And come here, atheists, would you please call in and defend your religion? Evolution is the dumbest religion ever. You really believe you came from a rock? I forgot to put that cool thing you gave me, Joseph, in there, that picture of the whack an atheist.
It's the thumbnail tonight.
Huh?
I have it as the thumbnail.
You have it as the thumbnail. Okay, good. Okay, I'll put it in my computer later. We're on a bunch of different shows on Rumble, on Facebook, X, TikTok, Instagram. We have our own app, kenhovind.tv. Okay, let's see. Tonight, we got to move it over. 28th. Today's the 28th. Mm-hmm. I had 29th up there. It'll be right one of these years. Okay. We are Genesis Baptist Church here, a right-wing, radical, independent, fundamental Baptist church. We believe the Bible is true and evolution is stupid. There's no scientific evidence for it at all. You believe you got some? Show me. I'll be glad to tackle it for you, okay? Come join us. We'll be your family for a few days if you want. If you stay too long, we'll put you to work. Right, girls? Anybody comes around here, we put them to work. How long you guys been here now? 2 weeks, or?
2 weeks, sir.
Huh?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, all right. Plenty to do. Okay. You help us stay open for free. Join our 777 Club. Say, I want to donate $1 a day. Take us on as your missionary, $30 a month to drdino.com, Dinosaur Adventureland. Call 855-BIG-DINO, extension 1 if you want to talk to the secretaries. Any questions about donating? I don't know how they do it. You just talk to them. drdino.com. 9.8, Joseph, I got to change it. Let's see. American Atheist Association. Our latest report finds religious extremism is on the rise across the nation. The most extreme religion in the world is atheism founded on evolution. You guys have the most extreme religion. You're trying to hunt around and see if you can find it. Look in the mirror. American Atheist envisions a world in which public policy is made using the best evidence we have, rather than religious dogma. Well, then you better throw evolution out, because there's no evidence for that at all, okay? And where religious beliefs are no longer seen as an excuse for bigotry, well, then get evolution out. That's a religion. Let's see. We fight for religious equality for all Americans by protecting what Thomas Jefferson called the wall of separation between state and church created by the First Amendment. And I think anybody who studies history will tell you, Thomas Jefferson intended this to be a one-way wall. The government would not get into religion, but they wanted religion, especially Christianity, in government. Read the Founding Fathers' documents. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. They're endowed by their Creator with certain rights. They knew rights come from the Creator, not government. Under communism, rights come from government. It's evil, folks. Anyway, watch my video number 5 for a whole lot more on that topic. That's the one they put me in jail for. Seminar part 5 of my seminar. $50 for the whole thing, 18 hours. When you're done watching it, send it back, get your money back if you want. Okay, Let's see. What's their vision? What are they trying to do? Okay, let's see. Aims and purposes of the American Atheist Association. The aim and purpose are to stimulate and promote freedom of thought. Okay, atheist, if a student in a public school classroom says, teacher, are we allowed to question evolution? Are we allowed to question even the age of the earth? Would it be okay if we question the legitimacy of the geologic column? Can a student say, teacher, I think all the layers formed in 1 year. Teacher, I don't think there's any evidence for these family trees. Is a student allowed to have freedom of religion, freedom of thought? No, they're not. They will lower their grade. They will count it wrong. They will fail them out of their class. You guys are the hypocrites. Come on, all of you American atheists, call in. I'll take you all on for a debate. Inquiry concerning religious beliefs, creeds, dogmas, tenets, rituals, and practice. I think I have freedom of thought. I can inquire into any of that. I'm willing to question anything I believe. Are you? Tell me, you atheists, you believe the layers of the earth are different ages. You believe the Holocene dirt is only 10,000 years old, but the, Permian dirt is 300 million years old. Well, if that dirt's 300 million years old, and that dirt's only 10,000, where was all this dirt hanging around for 2.9999 billion years? Where was it? How can I explain it better? They don't get it. They don't want to get it. There is no geologic column. Doesn't exist. There is no fossil record. There are fossils by the trillions, but none of them talk, and none of them have a date stamped on them. I'm sorry, you guys have the biggest and dumbest religion in the world. Retarded. You believe you came from a rock, and yes, you do, Mr. Nelson. You do believe you came from a rock. Calls himself Ra, the sun god. I think to be a sun, you'd have to be bright. Okay. Let's see. What's their goal? Collect, preserve, and disseminate information, data, and literature on all religions, and promote a more thorough understanding of them, really, their origins and their histories. I'm not against that, if you include evolution in that pile. Advocate, labor for, and promote in all lawful ways the establishment and maintenance of a thoroughly secular system of education. Oh, so you don't want any religion in the education? Well, then get evolution out. How can you not see it? Your religion's the only one taught in our schools. Get it out. Teach science in science class. You know, the kids can learn all the anatomy. Boys and girls, this is the deltoid, because it's shaped like an upside-down triangle. Delta, you know, Greek letter delta. This deltoid, this is the biceps, the triceps, the flexors, the extenders, the radius, the ulna, the carpals, the metacarpals, phalanges. You can learn all the anatomy there is and never discuss evolution. Got nothing to do with it. No surgeon in the world thinks about evolution when he's doing surgery. He better know his anatomy. It has nothing to do with evolution. Okay, let's see. You want a thoroughly secular system of education. All right. Encourage and develop a public acceptance of, oh, by the way, what if the people in your city or county or state don't want that? What if they want a school, the public schools to teach a religion, like the Muslim countries? They want all the schools to teach Islam. Okay, is that okay? I think it's dumb, but that's what they do. Would it be okay if the state of Alabama voted, hey, we're going to be a Christian state. We're going to teach creation in our public schools. Would that be okay with you, humanist? I'm sorry, American atheist. Encourage the development and public acceptance of humane, ethical system, stressing the mutual sympathy, understanding, and interdependence of all people. You hypocrites. You think humans should be ethical and have mutual sympathy, understanding? Have you read Charles Darwin's book, The Origin of Species, right here, by means of natural selection, or the preservation of favored races in the struggle for life? It's a struggle. The strongest survive. You don't believe in this ethical treatment of all humans. You think the strongest ought to survive. The poor little baby trying to grow inside the mother, you think you ought to kill it if you don't want it, don't you? Yeah. Madalyn Murray O'Hair started this American Atheist Association, I think in Texas, someplace, I forget, Houston. She was murdered in 1995 at the age of 76 years old. Madalyn Murray O'Hair. She was very influential in the court cases where two states, Arkansas and Louisiana, passed laws to say teachers should be required to teach creation also. Now, this court struck those down, probably wisely. I don't think you should require the teachers to teach creation. You shouldn't require them to teach evolution either. If they want to, they can. Ex-convict was acquitted Friday of conspiring to kidnap atheist Madeleine Murray O'Hare and her family, but found guilty of extorting money instead. Hey, what's wrong with him extorting money from them after all? They're all atheists. There's no such thing as right or wrong. They don't have a thou shalt not steal, do they? No. O'Hare, her son John Garth Murray, and granddaughter Robin Murray disappeared in '95, along with $500 million in gold coins. So Madeleine Murray O'Hare, the founder of your tax-exempt organization, was hoarding $500 million in gold coins. Guys, no, I'm sorry. Authorities believe they were killed and dismembered, though their bodies were never found. Well, how can you get a guy for murder when there's no body? Anyway. O'Hare, an outspoken atheist, reveled in calling herself the most hated woman in America and was involved in successful court battles in the 60s to remove prayer and Bible reading from the nation's public schools. Suffering from diabetes and heart condition and stupid brain disease, I added that, she was America's most prominent unbeliever, a combative foe for all organized religion, until she vanished at age 77. I would have debated her gladly. I'll debate any of you atheists anytime. Not afraid of any of you. Bring it on, okay? O'Hare wasn't reported missing for a year, not until her estranged son, William Murray, called the Austin police. Authorities questioned whether all three victims were foul play or merely ran off with the money. Anyway, her son, one son, William Murray, wrote a book, My Life Without God. William Murray, born 46, an American Baptist minister. He was raised in this atheist home, got saved. Serves as the chairman of the Religious Freedom Coalition, a nonprofit organization in Washington, D.C. Let's see. Accepting evolution means you can't believe in God. Evolutionary studies suggest that atheists, let's see, given a sign that he himself is an atheist. Okay, let's see. There's probably no God, so stop worrying and enjoy life. Yeah, he's going to really wish he'd trusted God when he dies here. Evolutionary studies suggest that atheists, whatever they say to the contrary, really do believe in God. Over the past few weeks, the theme of discussion on the internet has been the proposal that atheists may not exist. Of course, people who think they're atheists exist, but a study discussed in Nature magazine proposes that people really aren't functionally atheists because they're innately predisposed toward religion. In an article entitled, Scientists Discover That Atheists Might Not Exist, and That's Not a Joke, Science magazine. Oh, let's see. Militant atheists like Richard Dawkins, okay, may be convinced God doesn't exist. God, if he's around, might be amused to find that atheists might not exist. Maybe you can read the article for yourself. The best evidence for evolution comes from multiple independent lines of scientific inquiry. Genetic evidence considered the most powerful. DNA sequence. Guys, the DNA molecule is unbelievably complex. It's a 4-digit code. Our computers work on a 2-digit code, zeros and ones. DNA is CATG, 4-digit code. My books in my library here, about 4,000 books, have all the same 26 letters of the alphabet, except maybe a couple written in Japanese or Chinese or something. I don't know how their alphabet, how do you read that stuff anyway? Okay. I agree, there's a shared genetic code across all living things. You know why? They have the same designer. Yeah, that's why. Okay, broken gene for vitamin C production, we covered that before on video number 4. Fossils, supposed to Archaeopteryx, we covered that on lies in the textbooks. Get seminar part 4. That's supposed to be evidence for evolution. Consistent order of fossils in rock layers, who taught you that? They're a jumbled up mess out there. They determine the age of the layer, what it's supposed to be called, based on the fossils they find in it. If I handed you a piece of limestone and said, how old is it? You couldn't tell me, could you? Unless you ask me, where did you find it? What fossils were found with it? That's how you tell, isn't it? How can you not see how stupid that is, okay? Comparative anatomy. We have similar bone structures in the limbs of humans, bats, and whales. Yeah? Common designer. It works good. See, the whale has to twist his flipper around like you got to twist your wrist around. They suggest shared ancestry. No, they don't. They suggest a brilliant designer. Anyway, you know what they got for evolution? They got nothing. Nothing. There's no evidence for it at all. Nothing. Imagination. Just think, wow, we evolved. Let's see, let me get, let's see, start. What happened before the Big Bang? This is, to me, shows how absolutely stupid they all are, all of them.
It's interesting, this idea of the Big Bang created the universe. That's what Einstein's theory says. That's textbook cosmology, if you like. But the current textbook picture is there was a phase in the universe's life before the Big Bang, if you define the Big Bang as the hot, dense phase from which the universe appeared to sort of burst forth 13.8 billion years ago.
Why do they skip the obvious questions? Where did this energy and matter and space come from? Where did time come from? 13.8 billion years ago. Well, what was 13.81 billion years ago? And 200 billion years ago? They don't know. That's why I say you guys have a religion, and you're welcome to it. But don't call it science. You're pretending it's part of science. You're simply stupid.
And that phase is called inflation. So what we think happened is that before that, the universe was accelerating exponentially fast. It means it was doubling and doubling and doubling in size. And the numbers are ridiculous. We think that
the whole theory is ridiculous, not just the numbers. This little tiny dot doubled in size and then doubled and doubled and doubled and doubled. Yeah. They make up this stuff and call it science, Joseph. I don't know how they don't see it. Willingly ignorant. 2 Peter 3, got it right, okay.
if you started with a universe that was smaller than a single atom.
So the whole universe, smaller than a single atom. You know how small that is? That's tiny. You can't squeeze a glass of water into a dot smaller than an atom. They want to put the whole Pacific Ocean in there, plus the Atlantic, plus the Arctic, plus the Indian Ocean, plus all the lakes and seas, plus all the dirt, plus the whole world, plus all the planets, all the moons, all the stars. That's a crowded dot, folks. I'm talking crowded. By the way, that dot weighed as much as all of them put together. And it contained all the energy. How much energy have all the stars burned up since they were created? All that energy in that one dot. That was a hot dot, like really hot. Yeah. Where'd it come from? Okay.
Then it would be bigger by a long way than the whole observable universe, 350 billion galaxies in it, in less than a millionths of a second.
Well, it sounds good when they say million a lot of times, doesn't it? Gives it a scientific ring to it. Insane. You guys are certifiably insane. You shouldn't drive on the highway, okay? You're stupid.
So very rapid, exponentially fast expansion. And when that stopped, all the energy that was driving that expansion got dumped into space.
All the energy driving that expansion got dumped into space. Where did the energy come from? This is why you guys don't have a scientific theory. You have a religious belief. Call in. Send your questions in. They're all scared, aren't they, Joseph?
Absolutely.
You know why? I'm just a simple high school science teacher with a non-accredited degree that you don't appreciate, showing how dumb your religion is. If it bothers you, come debate me. Bring it on. Call Joseph, 855-BIG-DINO, extension 4.
It heated it up. It produced the particles of matter out of which.
So the energy that you don't know where it came from got dumped into the universe and created matter. I'd like to see how energy can create matter. I know matter can create energy. Is this really a equation goes both ways? I'd like to see how that's done.
We're made and all the things that we see out there in the sky, and that's what we see as the Big Bang. So that sounds fanciful, but that's...
You know why it sounds fanciful? Because it is. It's SpongeBob imagination, nothing else. That's standard cosmology. Yep. I would use that for fertilizer.
Standard cosmology at the moment. The big question then is, well, what started the inflation?
No, that's not the big question. There's 30 questions you better answer before you get to that one. Where did the matter come from? Where did the space come from? Where did this energy come from? Where did time come from? How did it get organized? How can a Big Bang, which is going to spread things out like hand grenade fragments, how can those fragments later get together out there? Every second you wait, they're getting further apart. The whole theory is stupid, real stupid. But I like making fun of you, and thank you for being such an easy target.
What stopped the inflation? How long did the inflation go on?
See, they get the students worried about these questions, which is really question number 80, 81, and 82. They want to skip the first 79 questions because that's a religion. You have to take that on faith. How did things evolve? Now, teacher, where did it come from to evolve? Well, we can't ask that question. We know we're here. How did it evolve? It's not science, guys.
On for? And the answer to that is we're not sure. We don't know.
After that, you don't know. You don't know before that either. Neither one.
In the beginning, there was an infinitely dense, tiny ball of matter.
Look at that. And where did that come from? We say, in the beginning, God, and you say, where did God come from? I say, I believe that by faith. I admit mine's a religion. Why don't you admit this statement right here as a religious statement? There was an infinitely dense, whatever that is, think about the word infinitely dense tiny ball of matter. Yeah? Where did it come from? You don't know. So you have a religion. That's all you have, which is fine. Keep it. But keep it out of our schools. You American atheists really want schools free of religion? Okay, then get evolution out. If not, you're a hypocrite.
Which started to expand and would eventually give rise to the atoms, molecules, stars, and galaxies we see today. But what was there before the Big Bang? What was the state of the universe before, well, everything? The universe underwent a breathtaking cosmic expansion.
The universe underwent a breathtaking cosmic expansion, doubling at least 80 times in a fraction of a second. Guys, who taught you that anyway? Why didn't you smack them?
Doubling in size at least 80 times in the fraction of a second. This rapid inflation, fueled by a mysterious form of energy.
See, you don't know where the energy came from, where the space came from, where the matter came from, but you know it wasn't God, don't you? And you know it happened 13.8 billion years ago. And in 12 years now, okay? This mysterious form of energy permeated empty space. Where did the space come from? Let's see.
The permeated empty space itself left the universe desolate and cold. And only after that did the hot, dense conditions of the Big Bang emerge.
All the energy got dissipated, it was cold, but then it became hot again. Okay, let's see.
Some of those theories suggest that the inflation doesn't stop all at once. It stops in patches. And every time it stops, you get a universe. And so So
every time the energy stops, you get a universe. They cut down a tree to print that someplace. Shame on you.
These theories, they're called eternal inflation theories, suggest that there might not be just our universe, the bit that we can see, but there might be many universes, perhaps an infinite number of them, and they may be being produced all the time. So what to make of that? But that's where current modern cosmology is.
Well, your current modern cosmology is stupid. It's not science. You're welcome to believe it, but it's a religious belief. All right, a few more minutes here, Joseph, and we'll start taking questions, okay? My throat hurts. I don't know what's been wrong for 2 weeks here, but I'm going to have to amputate. Some of the atheists are going to line up to want to do that, aren't they? See, killing me won't help, guys. My videos are all over the world. They're going to keep going. You're too late.
If cosmic inflation correctly describes what happened before the Big Bang, it may push the ultimate answer to the question of where we came from beyond the reach of science.
Well, you finally admitted it. It's beyond the reach of science. Therefore, why should we all be paid to teach? Why should we all pay to teach this in our public schools and public museums, public universities? You guys know you can't make it without tax funding, don't you? Yeah.
But that just pushes the question further, because we don't know anything about what came before inflation.
You don't know that there was an inflation either.
And it's doubtful that we'll ever know.
There are theories now that suggest, as I mentioned, that there may be more than one universe and potentially an infinite number. It's a mind-boggling idea, isn't it?
I think your mind is boggled before you started thinking about that one. You're already boggled, okay?
And I should say one extra thing. If that's true, then some of those theories say that what we call the constants of nature, so things like the strength of gravity, the speed of light, the masses of the particles, can vary from universe to universe.
Well, if the speed of light can vary, why do you use that as your evidence that the universe is billions of years old? They'll say, well, that star is 13.7 billion light years away. Yeah? Well, see, that proves it's 13.7 billion. No. 17 times in the Bible, God said he stretched out the heavens. That star could be 13.7 billion light years away and been created yesterday and stretched out to its current place. Anyway, okay.
And then you ask the question, well, why is our universe so perfect for life? Why
is the universe so perfect for life? Anybody have an idea? Joseph, what's your idea? It was made for life. Duh. It'd be funny if it weren't so serious, the effect this has. This evolution theory is dangerous. This is what motivated Adolf Hitler to say, well, let's speed up the process. Let's eliminate the inferiors. This is what motivates communist countries today. Anyway, that's enough, Joseph. I can't talk much more. Go ahead, get some questions in here. Okay, Pangea. Pangea theory is the idea that all the continents used to fit together in a supercontinent. The main one they use for that is they'll say South America and Africa look like they would fit if you slid them together. Get the glare off of that. Okay, let's see. Well, my house and the neighbor's house would fit too if you slid them together. What's that prove? Nothing. People say, do you think Africa and South America were ever connected? They're still connected underwater. There's dirt under there, you know. I mean, if you took all the water out of the oceans, you'd notice it has a floor. What do you mean, were they connected? They still are. Who started that dumb theory? In order to make them fit for your kid's textbook, they shrank Africa 40%. They twisted South America one way, twisted Africa the next way. They took out all of Central America. I cover all that on video number 4. The Pangea theory is stupid, real stupid. Tell them I said so, okay? Tom, do you think Jared Kushner is the Antichrist? I don't think so. I don't know. I guess I don't worry about that stuff. I did that already. Talk about unconstitutional. Teaching evolution religion in school is a violation of Constitution. I agree. Take it out. It has nothing to do with science. I say, you know, beer is often sold at football games. Beer has nothing to do with football. And you can have the game without beer. Did you know that? Some of you rednecks down here in Alabama, no way. Can you really? Yeah. Okay. And you can have science without evolution. You really could. Yeah. You could learn all the anatomy, learn the vessels, the arteries, the capillaries, learn how it all works, learn the different organs of the body and the four-chambered heart. And you could learn a lot. You could learn all of anatomy. You could learn all of earth science without mentioning evolution. You really could. Okay, go ahead. Ken, you need some hot tea with lemon and honey. I have tried about 40 different recipes. Well, tea is dangerous, so I don't drink much tea. You know about the Indian? Drank 4 gallons of iced tea. That night he drowned in his teepee. So be careful with that stuff. Okay. You're goated, bro. Is that a compliment?
It is.
Thank you, I guess. Where's the book of Jasher? Right up there on the top shelf. Jasher is very interesting reading. It's ancient history, but it's not scripture. I've written 67 books. I don't claim any of them to be inspired in scripture, you know. I'm not going to add to God's word. So it's on the top shelf. Come on, by. You can come in my library and read my books. You can't take them out of here. Just letting you know we've got another person back to his roots and having Jesus on his mind. Well, good. Spread it around. Find somebody else. Your job is to go get, you probably know 1,000 people that I will never meet. Your job, go get them, okay? Question, for a person standing at starting the Bible, what are the first books you suggest to read? You can really start anywhere. Some of the books are really more heavy. I'd read the book of Genesis. It'll give you the history of the world, quite a bit of it. Then I'd go to Matthew and read the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John are the 4 Gospels. They're biographies of Jesus. You need to understand who this guy really was. You need to fall in love with him. Then the book of Acts tells about the actions of the disciples. That comes next. Jesus, 12 disciples, trained them for a year or so, said, now go and preach the gospel. So the book of Acts tells how they spread out to do that. Then most of the rest of the New Testament is letters that these guys wrote to the churches they started. Like the church at Rome. Guess what that book is called? Romans. They went to Corinth, which is a city in Greece, started a church there in a wicked city. Paul had to write them 2 letters, 1st and 2nd Corinthians. So I'd read the whole New Testament a couple times, then go back, and the whole Bible's interesting. Leviticus is, God, don't listen to this. Leviticus is really not very interesting to me. All these different laws, 613 laws they had to keep, how to wash your hands and all this stuff. Okay. By the way, we're going to have a symposium on the Sabbath. Is that something Christians are supposed to do today? I say no. Okay? And we're going to have guys coming up, we're trying to get that scheduled. Yeah. We'll have a symposium. Yes, sir.
What about the Lord's Supper?
The Lord's Supper, the New Testament, Jesus instituted that. He said this is to do in remembrance of him. The bread that they break does not actually become the body of Christ. The Catholic priests hold that little wafer. They think they've got God in their hands. They control God. And if they drop it, you should see them scramble. You just dropped God, like God can't pick himself up. I think we haven't done it here in a long time. We'll do communion here sometime. It should be bread and grape juice, not wine. Okay, that's Hovind theory. Okay, another story. Can I have my children not learn things to go against the Bible? Is there only rights? Are there any rights? Yeah, you could actually, if that's your goal, and I think thousands of parents need to do this, you need to find a legal way to contact your school and say, I don't want my students taught the evolution religion. Watch them scramble. It's part of the curriculum. I know it shouldn't be. Take it out. I want my kid excused. Put him out in the hallway when they're teaching evolution. Give him different work to do. What if all the students were out in the hallway when the teacher's teaching evolution? Yeah. Good idea. Any more? Okay. You still friends with Orrin Woodward? That name rings a bell, but I don't remember where. Who is he? What's he do? How do I know him? How many people have I met, Joseph?
Did God stop time when Jesus was talking to Moses and Elijah?
Did God stop time when he's talking to Moses and Elijah? Interesting question. I don't know. God can stop time if he wants. He can back it up. He can throw it away, you know. I think that's going to happen when we get to heaven. First thing you do, take your watch off, fling it over the side. Don't need that anymore. There shall be time no longer. I've been stuck in time all my life. I can't even think outside that little box. Have you ever wished you could go back just 5 seconds to undo the dumb thing you just did? Yeah. Sorry, you're stuck in time. You can't do it. Okay, next.
Do you believe the general consensus about the distance of the stars and galaxies?
I think I cover on my video number 7 how they measure the distance to stars with parallax trigonometry, with the redshift, with luminosity. We cannot measure star distance accurately beyond 100 light years. Everything after that gets real fuzzy guesswork. And they may be right. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm saying we can't tell. I taught trigonometry for years. You cannot tell the distance using parallax trigonometry. It's hard to tell 1 light year. I go do all the math and show all that on video number 7. So, but it doesn't, even if the stars are billions of light years away, when God said 17 times he stretched out the heavens, maybe that's a better solution to how to answer that. Anyway, my thoughts, okay?
Are you predeterminist or Calvinistic?
No, absolutely anti-Calvinistic. John Calvin knows better now. Why I'm not a Campbellite, why I'm not a Seventh-day Adventist, why I'm not a Catholic. I have 2 of these up here. Why I'm not a Muslim, do we have why I'm not a Calvinist?
We do.
Hey, Joy, some of these are doubles. Take the doubles out and get me the why I'm not a Calvinist from the bookstore later, by tomorrow night, okay? Okay, other questions?
How are you?
My throat hurts. I don't know why. I got this phlegm. I cough and I'm tired. And my foot hurts and I hit my head on the side of my Jeep. What else is wrong? Didn't hurt the Jeep at all, though. So.
We'll get chatting on this one. What's your thoughts on the only place gopher trees grow is in northern Florida?
Well, I don't think that we can possibly tell when God told Noah to build the ark out of gopher wood, that just because somebody used that same name to name a tree in Florida does not mean it's the same wood. I don't think it's possible to know such a thing. So it's just like the river Euphrates. They say that's mentioned in the book of Genesis before the flood. And we now have a river called the River Euphrates over there in the Middle East. Doesn't mean it's the same one. You know, when the people came from York, England, they sailed over here. Guess what they named the city? New York. Not the same place. Let's see, we got New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York. We got a bunch of new. They just reuse the name, that's all. Does not mean anything. It's the same place at all. Okay?
Do you have to be baptized to go to heaven?
No, baptism is a public symbol, nothing more. It's like putting on a wedding ring that doesn't get you married. It just shows people you made a promise, that's all. Most people don't keep that promise, but that's what it shows. So, baptism has nothing to do with salvation, nothing whatsoever.
How can they meet you in person?
Come see me. I'm trying to be someplace at all times. I've done pretty good so far, haven't I, Joseph? Been pretty. I'm trying to be someplace. Okay. Sometimes I don't know where it is, but you know, I'm there. Okay. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Thank you. See you tomorrow night.
How computers came to be. But you cannot use man as your answer. I only want a purely naturalistic explanation for the origin of computers. Purely naturalistic. The answer has to lie within the computer. How did these molecules get together? How did this data get together? How did these plastic molecules come together and the different silicone chips? How did it happen? Your answer has to lie in the computer. I've already eliminated the only obvious answer to the problem at the beginning by my definition. They're trying to eliminate the only logical answer to the question by their definition of science. They want to define science as things that we can observe and test and demonstrate in the natural world. Okay, well then that eliminates both evolution and creation. Both are unobserved. We don't see anything change. We don't see anything created from nothing. Here's the problem. Both creation and evolution are religious. I admit mine's a religion. They don't admit theirs is a religion. And all of us are paying for their religion to be taught in the school system. And I, for one, resent that.
I'm an independent, temperamental, fundamental, right-wing, radical, chicken-eating Baptist.